with information on an important free resource for veterans, the VA Health and Benefits app. The tool is like a one-stop shop for veterans. It allows them to view or cancel VA medical appointments, send and receive messages from healthcare providers, and download VA benefit letters to provide veteran status or disability payments. Veterans can also manage existing VA claims, find the closest VA medical centers, and get quick access to the VA crisis line. You can download the Health and Benefits app on your iPhone or at the Google App Store, or wherever you normally get your mobile apps. If you already use this app, please share your feedback on your phone's app store. That's the VA Health and Benefits mobile app. I'm Mike Richmond.
I applied for this job because I wanted to cut loose and shake my rump.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
I want to make it clear that the views expressed by our hosts are not considered the official stance of MBR Views. Remember, this is all about having fun and enjoying the ride.
Turnbuckles and stogies!
What is up? For the crowd to settle down here. What's going on? It is me, the OG. I'm here with the big dog.
What up, people?
The gorilla. What's up? We are Turnbuckles and Stogies. Welcome back to, what are we calling this? Sunday Slam? Sunday Slam.
Sunday morning wind down.
There we go. Sunday morning wind down. Here we are. Hey, listen, we got a guest coming on around, 11:30 for us?
11:30.
What do we got?
We have my man, Mr. Keith Moskowitz of Kikimomo Cigars, baby.
Kikimomo? You mean Kikimomo?
Kikimomo, baby. What we got? That's what we got.
What you got, my brother?
I got Stars and Stripes.
Got the Maduro Gordo 6x60.
And I've got
one of his Sublime cigars. I have the catalog somewhere.
all right, and I cut mine with the True Cut, Legal Provider True Cut, and I'm going to be lighting mine with this. Actually, one of my favorite lighters, that car. What do you guys cut and light with?
I'm going to cut mine with a straight cut because I'm a straight cut guy. I may save mine till he comes on, brother. Then I'm going to smoke. But other than that, I'm smoking an Odyssey right now, Connecticut. I'm not a big fan of it, but I'll smoke it. So let's talk about, I'm not a big fan of WWE, as everybody knows, but I watched a clip of Mr. Randy Orton. I watched it this morning on my way to work, obviously, where he was in the ring. It was him. It was the general manager of Raw, general manager of SmackDown.
Which was Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis.
Yes, they were giving him an opportunity. And I'm going to let Joey do it because I'm not sure exactly what was said.
Well, I'm not really sure, but I just know on Raw they offered him the winner of Seth and Jey Uso, so he had a shot at the title. And then SmackDown offered him a shot at the Bloodline. Obviously, that's what he took because of the storyline of that's who put him out for over a year and a half.
Right, and he made it very clear.
Right.
He made it very clear when he came back.
Correct.
And he also made it clear during War Games to Jay.
Yeah.
In the ring.
Yes.
Speaking of War Games, we briefly touched on the last show. I think from top to bottom, I think War Games was a fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
pay-per-view. My opinion.
It absolutely was from top to bottom. I enjoyed every bit of it.
What was your favorite moment? Listen, I'm not gonna lie. My favorite moment. I mean, there was a lot of them. I had to put at the top is the RKO from the top of the cage.
That was tremendous.
That was crazy.
That was tremendous.
I mean, the timing on that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're off on the timing, and somebody's gonna get hurt.
Well, yeah, very true.
But if you've seen what he did,
There we
he
are.
went over there and he went like this, put his foot across and said, right here. And that was the baddest RKO he ever did.
But
here's what I was getting to about what he did. And it was on last Monday Night Raw too with Rhea Ripley. He's standing in the ring and he's going, I was sitting home while I was out and I was watching Raw, and all I hear is mommy, 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 mommy. He goes, well, guess what, mommy? Daddy's back.
No, he said daddy's home.
Oh, daddy's home. Okay. See, I'm not a big fan. But then last night on Raw, or whenever the Raw was, just recently, whatever he did, SmackDown, whatever, after he did that, he leaned over to Paul Heyman and he goes, wise man, call Roman Reigns and tell him daddy's back. So I think that's
awesome.
I think that's the greatest catch line he's had lately. You know what I mean? He's a beast. He's a beast.
What's going on, everybody? What are you guys smoking out there? Put it in the comments here and tell us what you're smoking, what your thoughts are on the pay-per-view. We want to hear from you. You can also call us or text us at 720-619-0627. Call on the show. Love to hear from you. Text us. Say hi. See what's going on. What else new, fellas?
Nothing much, man. I just had to work this morning, a little overtime, never hurt nobody. Went in there and dealt with the bosses because, they always messing things up. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely. Got been any good lounges around here?
No, I haven't been anywhere.
Nah, I haven't been in no lounge. We haven't been to a lounge in a while. And this week we're a little tied up. We got to go to the cemetery on Tuesday for my mother-in-law, and then Friday night we got a wedding, and then Saturday Joey's going to.
I'm out on the road again.
He's out on the road again. He came back Friday. Tell us about your Friday night with ISPW and the Now.
That was a good night. We had fun. It was a good show. If you can make it out to those shows, I highly suggest it. They're a whole lot of fun. I enjoyed it from top to bottom. The last two shows I've been to were absolutely fantastic. His next show actually is in January. That was the last show of his for the year. His next show is January 20th in Barnegat.
Barnegat, New Jersey.
He's out in Barnegat, New Jersey on the 20th.
Down by the shore.
Yeah.
Down by Seaside Heights, New Jersey.
It's about 30 minutes from Seaside, 40 minutes from AC. It's kind of like right in the middle.
For y'all that don't know, that's our home away from home for the summer. We go down there and we stay at the Sunburst Inn on the Boulevard. If y'all ever need a hotel room for the summer, you got to book it now. Call the Sunburst Inn, ask for Butch, tell him Big Dog sent you. He'll know. And it's very family orientated, and it's one of the best motels I stayed at. He has that one, and he has the one right next door, Sunburst 2. They do pizza parties during the week on Tuesday, bagels and breakfast every day, swimming pool. You can grill there. You can smoke outside. Just got to keep the noise down. I got in trouble 2 years ago for that because I was cursing. What else is new?
So tell us about the promotion that you went and saw, the show that you went and saw. What is it about? Who are they? Give us some background.
They used to run, if I remember correctly, they ran a long time ago. The guy who owns it also owns the Rock and Wrestling Collector in New Jersey. He used to be the Wrestling Collector. He rebranded to Rock and Wrestling. I've been there. It's a great store. If you haven't been there, go check it out.
A lot of memorabilia.
Old wrestling action figures out from the LJNs, all the way up until I think even current stuff. Not very much of the current
A
stuff,
lot
but
of old magazines.
videotapes, DVDs, pictures, just all kinds of memorabilia you can think of. And he primarily runs, I think he's primarily just runs a lot of Jersey shows.
Yes, he doesn't go anywhere else.
He doesn't really travel too much. We were in Patterson Friday. And then the week before that, or 2 weeks before that, I was in West Milford at one of the churches over there. This week I was at St. Bonaventure in Patterson. That's a nice little place. Venue was great. Turnout was great. Could have fit more people, but weather and stuff like that, I understand. I mean, the card from top to bottom was great. There was guys that I've never heard of before that can actually wrestle. That are not actually wrestle, but guys that are fantastic. They from top to bottom, man. He can really put a card together from top to bottom. The owner.
Now, is there anybody on the card that we should be looking out for, like a name that we should look for?
Well, I mean, he had a few guys on there that
Maven.
No, Maven wasn't there. LaGreca actually is he's going to be going away for a little while. The host of Busted Open, Dave LaGreca, was there. Actually, they just brought in, and if I remember correctly, he worked for MCW.
Yes, he also is.
No, Andy Weinberg.
Yes.
He was big for Maryland Championship Wrestling, if I'm correct. So he was there. Dave LaGreca is going away for a little while. I think it's got to do, I don't know if it's something with Busted Open that he can't do appearances or anything like that. I'm not really sure I don't know what it is. I just know he's going away for a little while. Then you had Leo Sparrow there, who was trained, I believe, in Creator Pro down on Long Island. He wrestled. You had, who else was there? There was so many people there that I can't remember because I don't have it in front of me. But he had a few NWA guys there. Two of them are the guys that I was traveling with that are his tag champs. Then you have another guy, Joe something. I forget his name, but he looks like he looks like a superstar. I mean, muscled up, can move, can work the crowd. I mean, he's good. I enjoyed his match. There was quite a few guys there. I don't have the whole thing in front of me because the card obviously, as always, is subject to change. We all know that.
Yeah.
So, things change, matches changed.
What's the name of the promotion again?
ISPW. It's called International Superstars of Pro Wrestling.
Maybe our producer can slap that on the screen for everybody so we can follow them. I'm sure they would appreciate us following them, get to know their superstars. And what else is going on, guys? What else you guys got coming up?
Well,
I know we were talking about both of you guys.
I got Albany next week. I got Captain Lawrence Brewing, I believe the 29th of December for Outlaw. I'll be down there. And then after that, I got February. We got a show. I don't know the location yet. That'll be up as soon as it goes live. And then we're in talks to go to Carolina in November. Or not November, May. Sorry.
Really?
We're in talks to go down to the Carolinas.
Wow. Maybe I'll have to go
down to the Crockett territory.
We're also supposed to. We'll see how things work out. Turnbuckles and Stogies are supposed to be at Destination Earth in January.
Destination Earth. Get out of here.
Yes. And that is hosted by the one and only.
Who?
Who's the sponsor for it?
Well, there's a few of them.
The big sponsor.
Well, there's a few big ones. You have Caldwell. You have Aventura.
Caldwell is the main man.
You have Aventura with Henderson. I forget. There's so many sponsors going to be there.
How
There's
about
so
that?
many.
Looking forward to that. Absolutely.
Hopefully we can make it happen, and you know, if we can make it happen, hey, listen, then we're golden.
All right. Now that we got some people on here. Let's what the hell? Let's announce the contest. What do you think?
Sure.
Want to announce it?
Sure.
All right. So here's what Turnbuckles and Stogies are going to do.
Who?
The three of us
Oh man.
on the next pay-per-view. Well, actually, pay-per-views throughout the whole entire year. We're going to have a contest among each other. What we're going to do is we're going to pick one contest and one pay-per-view, and we're going to keep total throughout the entire year. We have a championship belt being made up, and the person that wins this contest is going to get that belt. But where you come in is you get to participate along. And if you can beat all three of us, we're going to make our picks, and then you make your picks. And if you beat all three of us, and whoever the winner is at the end of the season from the fans, from you, we're going to issue you
What, a 5-pack?
what do you think?
Five-pack
5-pack.
of our choice.
5-pack. I'm also going to throw in some cigar tender swag.
Swag. What do you mean swag?
Oh, I don't know, like patches and hats and shirts. We're going to give a bunch of stuff away.
We
So
got
all you got to do is you have to go up against the three of us. We're going to compete against each other. And so we're going to get the championship belt. We're going to get the turnbuckle belt. You all will win a 5-pack of cigars and some swag and some other stuff will accumulate throughout the year that will be yours for the grand prize winner, whoever beats the three of us. We'll keep tally of it. And the only way you follow that is going to be on Turnbuckles on Instagram. That's where you got to keep track of the tally. We're going to keep that pinned to the top of the page.
Pin to
What's
the
up,
top.
Brian?
You could probably check for what, monthly updates maybe.
Monthly updates. Anytime there's a pay-per-view out, we're going to list the contests that we are competing against each other with. Again, we're not picking every match on the card. We're just picking one match each. We're each going to pick a match, going head to head against each other.
Right.
You come in those same matches. You have to beat us. If you beat us, you accumulate throughout the year. You accumulate points throughout the year. You'll be the grand prize winner at the end. So we'll be on WrestleMania. We're going to debut our belt, our championship belt, and we'll update the prizes too as we go along. You're going to accumulate throughout the entire year. It's going to be more than just a 5-pack. It's going to be more than just a T-shirt. It's going to be more than a hat and a patch. We're going to accumulate throughout the entire year a prize package for the winner who beats all three of us.
Yes.
And you will be deemed the Turnbuckles heavyweight champion.
But you don't get the belt though.
We don't get the belt. We get the belt.
We keep the belt.
One of us wins that belt.
Well, that'll be me, obviously.
One of us
I wouldn't say that. Probably be me.
will probably join.
Yeah, it'll probably be my son.
But so that's a contest coming up. So stay tuned for that. And what else we got here today, guys? What else are we going to talk about while we're waiting for our guest here today? He's going to be on just a little bit. About
let's
15
announce.
minutes.
Let's announce our December 10th guest and our December 17th guest.
So December 10th will be the owner of Apex Championship Wrestling, Jesse, based out of Florida.
Sweet.
Not Florida, I apologize.
North Carolina. He's a veteran.
He's a new upstart company. He's a veteran. He's got a GoFundMe for a ring. He had some promotions back out of letting him use it. So when he comes on next week, we'll have his GoFundMe pinned in the comments. You know, anybody that knows anyone, maybe, could help him out.
Hey, every bit matters. I mean,
Or even if you know somebody with a ring that's willing to rent it to him, I mean, hey, listen, let us know. We'll get him in contact with him.
And then December 17th, we have my good friend and my brother.
Yeah.
He's in Florida. I'm sure everybody knows who he is because he's all over.
I know
Instagram.
Bernie knows who he is.
He's all over. He's all over Instagram. He's all over Facebook and all of that. Mr. Kevin Shanahan, aka Cigar Prop. aka the owner of Panda Cigars.
That is fantastic. Awesome. We got quite the lineup coming up, huh?
Yes.
Then we're going to be taking a little bit break around Christmas, obviously.
We'll probably pre-record our Christmas episode, give us a break. We might, depending on how it works, might have to record 1 or 2 episodes, take a break from Christmas into New Year's.
And listen, just so everybody
And
knows,
then,
New Year's Eve is my birthday. I accept all kind of gifts, liquor, and cigars. Appreciate you.
Go ahead, finish what you're saying, Joe.
so we'll probably pre-record 1 or 2 episodes, maybe to get us through the first week of the new year.
Yep.
And then come back that second Sunday with a bang. You know, we'll try to line up. This way it'll give us time to line up a guest, set up a time, get some cigars in, advertise it, promote it the right way. You know, this way you guys know who's coming, who's not coming. We'll try to lock in. We do have a few guests that we're getting ready to lock in after the new year. We've already been in talks with them. One of them is a very good friend of mine. We both reached out to him. We're just waiting on a confirmation date for him to come on, because that's going to be a big one.
So it takes time. What people need to understand too, it takes time.
Working around all these guys.
The wrestling promo, yeah, we got to work around their
yeah.
schedules, and sometimes we might have to record because
We might have to record.
their time doesn't line up with us. But they're
Yeah,
coming, and that's why we're kind of being a little reserved. We want to put a little out there, but we don't want to get.
I won't give you
Sure,
some
go
of the guests for the new year because I want to leave that up to a surprise.
And don't worry about the contest. It's still going to go on. Even though these are going to be recorded, we're still going to do the contest. Again, all you have to do to recap that real quick for the folks that just joined in. I see a couple more people popped on. So what we're doing here at Turnbuckles and Stogies, we got a championship belt. We're going to go for the Turnbuckles Championship. Myself, Big Dog, Joey V. We got a championship belt coming. But you can win too. All you have to do is beat all three of them.
Yeah, you can win cigars, swag.
Not 2 of 3, not 1 of 3. You got to beat all 3 of us. And right now, the price pack is at a 5-pack of cigars, a Cigar Tender T-shirt. I'm just going to say swag. It's going to be multiple stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to be multiple stuff. And this is going to accumulate throughout the entire year. It begins here at Royal Rumble, and it ends.
It ends next year at the Royal Rumble.
And that way, whoever the champion is goes into WrestleMania, is guaranteed to walk into WrestleMania the champion and guaranteed to walk out.
Now here's my thinking, right? Here's my thinking with that challenge. Just because we're starting at the Royal Rumble, I think the match that we should pick in all should be one of the Rumble matches. Women or men.
One of them should be. Yeah.
Hey, OG, let me know when you guys are ready for the first segment. We got a question of the day, and we have turning point of the week. So just
Okay,
let
let's
you
do
know.
question of the day.
Let's do question of the day first.
All right,
got?
let's do question of the day.
That's our. That's
If
our
anybody,
producer.
yeah, I was just
That's
gonna
H.
say, if anybody else knows who that is, that's our producer.
That's the man behind the curtain. H. Shout out to H this morning. Good morning, buddy. Question of the
All
week.
right.
What do we got?
Question of the week from a listener off of TikTok. With all the changes since WWE's been with like UFC and all these, partnerships and stuff, is ECW going to eventually be a part of WWE?
Well, they already technically own the rights. They've done this once before. I don't see them bringing that back because right now, if they did, ECW would have to go on its own as an independent company in order to thrive. And WWE wouldn't give it the just due that it should have. They tried it. It wasn't that good. If we're just being honest.
I don't see it coming back because the Wizard the Grand Master, the Grand Wizard, the
evil fucking
genius is now what they call part of the bloodline. He is called.
Not only that, he's got a lot of roles backstage.
And that is who?
Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman.
Paul E. Danger.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see that taking any. I don't see the WWE really spearheading the efforts for that. And I
wish they
you.
would.
I agree with you. I don't think they got the legs.
But they would have to do just like they did back in the 90s, and they would have to run by themselves on their own with an evil genius at the helm, and they would have to run it separately by themselves because there's no way they would get their just due under the Endeavor TKO WWE banner. They wouldn't get that. They wouldn't get that same the same outcome. They wouldn't get the same anything because it would be toned down quite a bit.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't. I don't see it happening.
I mean, there is a company out there that kind of took the place of ECW, yes.
And that's GCW.
That's Game Changer Wrestling. They have kind of taken that spot of ECW with they call them death matches. I mean, it's a death match company, but they lucha libre. I mean, regular tag team, singles, women's. Like they do everything. So
go call him. He's having a problem on him. So he's waiting for a call.
So I got since we're doing question of the week, I did get an inbox a couple weeks ago. Go ahead.
And tell him he needs a code to log in.
You guys want to go on the? Yeah, if you want to finish that statement, you can go ahead and finish that statement, OG, or we can go on break and then when we come back, you can talk about the turning point of the week.
Yeah, let's just take a quick break so we can
help our guests get on here.
Help our guests. We have a guest trying to get on.
Hey, it's Michelle from Park Lane Tobacconist. Come on down for a great selection of pipe tobaccos, cigars, accessories, you name it. Come on down and check us out. I want to thank Turnbuckles and Stogies for promoting us on their program, and back to them at MBR Radio.
Well, that's his job. Hey, our guest is trying to get here. We're trying to get him on real quick here. So let me address a couple questions that were inboxed to me while we're waiting for our guest to come on. Number one,
Joey's got to go call him because Joey's on.
This is one right here for Big Dog. Big Dog, I got an inbox from. It's actually addressed to all three of us. But the question was, if you could go back and do it again, wrestling, I assume they mean. Would you keep your persona or find a different persona?
So, 20 years ago when I started with my partner, God rest his soul, 25 years ago, me and my partner started the Untouchables, and I used to wear a vest, I used to wear a pair of jeans, a pair of boots, and a t-shirt with my picture on it. Then after me and my partner, because my partner got sick, I had to go on my own. I went on my own and I joined NWA New England. And the promoter of NWA New England came to me and he said, I have the best gimmick for you. And I said, but I have a gimmick. He goes, no. We're going to change that up. And that's when he took my jeans out of my suitcase, grabbed a razor knife, and just cut him. Sent one of the kids to the store, He got me some rope, my lumberjack shirt he cut, and he got me a bone. And he said, your new name is just Big Dog. You are now going by Big Dog Marino. He goes, you are now part of the Moondogs. So I've changed my persona twice. And now I changed it again. Just recently, when I tagged up with my son, I came out in a different persona with my cigar, with my hat, with my jeans on, you know, with a pair of gym shorts on, and a pair of Nikes, like the platinum Nikes, red and black. So I've changed my persona a lot. And you know, in this business, you have to change with the times. I mean, look at the Undertaker. When he first came out, he was the Undertaker. Then he became American Badass. Then he became the Brothers of Destruction. Then he went back to the Undertaker gimmick. Then he changed it again. So yes, you have to change with the times. Look at Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho changed. I mean, Daniel Bryan changed. You know, you have to change with the times in order to stay on top of the production and to sell yourself to the crowd. Basically, what you're doing is you're selling yourself to the crowd. That's basically what you're doing. You want the crowd to come back and say, hey, man, I love that guy Big Dog. I love that guy OG. I love that guy Vanilla Gorilla. You want them to come back to you. You want them to buy your merchandise. You want them to buy pictures. You want to be talked about so much that when that booker or that guy that owns that federation, when they hear, oh man, that team was great, that guy was great, that guy's going to say, wow, this guy's making me sell tickets. You know, so you have to change with the times. I mean, you know, you get some guys, and I'm going to shout out to my brother Low Key and my brother Homicide and Eddie Kingston, because I know them all. Low Key changed. He went from just being low key wearing I call it a fucking bathing suit. But he went from that. He went to WWE. He became I forget his name in WWE. Became the karate guy. Then he went to TNA and he became like a bodyguard with a suit and tie and a strap like a gun. You know, so yes, you have to change with the times. You know, if you don't change with the times, you're never going to make it in this business.
So the other part of the question on there was one for me along the same lines. They asked if I wrestled. No, I've never been a wrestler. I've been a huge wrestling fan all my life. And the question was, did I ever want to be a wrestler? No, I never wanted to be a wrestler, but I always wanted to be a manager. I love guys like Mouth of the South. I love Bobby Heenan, Mr. Fuji. I love those guys. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I just love the manager aspect of it, and I always wanted to be a manager. So, no, I never wanted to be a wrestler, but I always want to be a manager. Scott asked, who was your idol in the wrestling world for each of you? For me, you know, I'm 51 years old. I remember guys like superstar Billy Graham really got me into wrestling. I just loved his persona. I loved his character. I loved just the way he commanded respect. I loved superstar Billy Graham. And then, you know, that kind of morphed into obviously the immortal Hulk Hogan. But then Undertaker came on the scene, and Undertaker to this day is my guy. How about you?
Well, you know, I go a little further back. Antonio Inoki, you know, Captain Lou, Antonio Luaka, you know, guys like that. You know, I honestly, I don't have an idol. What made me get into wrestling was just watching these guys. I was sitting at home one day with my mom, and I said, I'm going to do that one day. And, you know, like I said, my idol, you know, I like the old timers like Jimmy Snuka, guys like that. I met Jimmy Snuka, Johnny Rodz, Alpha the Wild Samoan.
Uncle Jimmy.
You know, Pops and his brother Sika. You know, guys like that. I mean, I could go on and on. Johnny Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man. You know, I'm an old timer. I like the old guys. You know, it's just an idol. I really don't have one. I mean, I love them all because everybody has a different style. Everybody has a different charisma. You know what I mean? So, you know, and you take that, you can always combine different people's, like, let's say, you know, you can combine Hulk Hogan, you can combine Jimmy Boogie Woogie Man, you can combine Eddie Kingston all in one, but you're going to make it your own style. So me, I don't have an idol. I have people I like. So that's my answer.
So Joey, the part of the question for you that I got texted was, if you could tag team with any wrestler, any company, who is the number one guy or girl that you would like to tag with? Number one, hands down. Who would you love to tag team?
There's so many. He's waiting on a code from Facebook.
And we'll get an update on the guest in just 1 second.
I'm working on the guest. Don't worry, guys. I mean, there's so many. There's so many. That's a tough question. I mean, number one can change all the time. See, that's the thing. Number one can change all the time because of the fact that you may find somebody else that you like more than your original number one. If you would have asked 10-year-old me, I probably would have told you AJ Styles. If you ask me now, I'm probably going to tell you Eddie Kingston. And that's only because I think that would be a very interestingly fun tag team to give a live microphone to.
Nice. So Rich Cooper asked a question on here. What is your Mount Rushmore of wrestlers? 4.
Mount Rushmore. Well, number one on that list, and everybody's going to say it's a typical number one, but number one is Ric Flair. Without a doubt, no questions asked. Flair's number one. Flair has to be number one. There's nobody that was like him. There was nobody like him since. There's nobody that had that same. I hate to use the term, but flair as him. Nobody had that same drive, that same
bravado.
Nobody. That's something that's not very common anymore. Is that bravado, that confidence, that, you know, I'm the guy, and if you don't like it, that's too bad. There is none of that anymore. Well, shouldn't say that. The only one that's come really fucking close is Max. And he's come really close.
LA Knight's working it up pretty good.
He is. I'm curious to see if it gets
Your number one is Flair.
Number one has to be Flair.
Okay, so your number two. It's harder than when I read that. It was hard. It's hard because, but let's go off the cuff and immediately rapid fire, so we know one is Flair.
Now the question here's the question: are you talking overall presentation or just?
I'm going to.
You know what I'm trying to say?
I'm interpreting when you say Mount Rushmore, it is the best of the best, like as a whole, as the persona, as wrestling, you know, as a wrestler.
I mean, personally,
an entertainer.
This guy's wrestling wasn't the greatest, but his gimmick and his presentation were just phenomenal, and they transcended everything. That's Warrior. Warrior would have to be number two.
He's on line one.
Gimmick wise, like his wrestling wasn't, you know, very technical, but his presentation, he made you believe in everything. And he would have to be number two.
All right. So rapid fire 3 and 4. Our guest is in the studio. So give me your 3 and 4, and then we'll finish ours off after our guest is
So 3 and 4, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go snooker.
Ooh,
I'm gonna go snooker,
I like it.
and then I'm gonna go Albano.
Fantastic. On that note, hey, introduce us, brother.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to bring in our guest, the man, the myth, the legend himself of Kikimomo Cigars.
What's
What's
up,
up, bro? And thanks for having me on. I apologize for being late. I'm not a tech savvy guy.
Listen, these are absolutely fantastic. And I'm not just saying it because you're on here. I mean it. Ask any of these guys. I don't, by the way, nice to meet you. I'm the OG, by the way.
Cigar tender.
Listen, I don't promote something unless I actually like it. If I don't like it, listen, I'm old school. My parents taught me not to say anything at all. So if I say something and I say I like it, listen, you take my word for it. It's good.
So why are you talking?
I love it.
If they tell you not to say nothing, why are you talking?
Funny, man. Your turn. Go ahead.
So Keith,
we're looking for a new co-host.
I'm smoking the Stars and Stripes. So tell us a little bit about of your background and how you went from your career job into getting cigars.
You guys can hear me okay now? Is that correct?
Yes. Perfect.
And that was the great. So good that I woke up. But the fact that I could get on the line, it's the second grade. I'm in bed now. I'm done for the day. Looks like I have up. Okay. I grew up on cigars. My old man was a cigar guy. Started smoking cigars when I was 12 years old. Always loved cigars. Always. Life gets object. I was a big Roman guy. I was about 6K. It was getting expensive. I had a big company before this one, and I knew I was going to be selling. I'm getting older. I wanted to like downsize and get sort of semi-retired. And I'm looking down. I'm like, what can I do? And I look down at the cigar, and I'm like, this shit's costing me almost a mortgage payment every month. $1,100 a month on cigars. I was like, shit, this is expensive. So I'm like, I'm going to start my own cigar company. It was a lot for guys, and I don't regret it. It's a lot to do, a lot, and it takes years. It's not like you have an idea, the next day you go, you start it, and you're up and running. It takes years to tackle properly. It's happened to me 3 times. So I was trying to like get into lounge stuff. Guys that have been in 30, 40 years. Try my cigars. I like to try them. I'm like pay for one. Not good. Not everyone loves it, but I've been very these cigars. And 3 times people have said to me that have been in this industry, they're like, it's a really great cigar, but it's young. And I knew they knew what they were talking about because they were young. I rolled up cigars and thinking, oh, before I even produced them, I would get a few dozen, maybe 50 cigars, and I'd give them to my friends, and I'm like, guys, you got to be straight with me. If it sucks, I'm cool with it. But if and they come back like, these are really, really good. And I'm like, man, don't jerk me off. Be straight. So I was going to originally start out with 38 faces. And as I usually do things, I go crazy. And we currently have about 189 faces.
Wow.
It's a lot. It's a real, where down the line, I could see whittling it down to about 145. And I'll give you this reason why. For example, let's say Connecticut. I could have a Connecticut that's 6 by 60 and a Connecticut that's 6.5 by 60. You sort of don't. whittle that down to one. And then I have about 11 Solomons. And people say, do you love all your cigars? I think all my cigars are really good. There's some I like better than others. And the Solomon is one that I'm not really fond of, personally. But people love them. Like every time I think I'm going to like eliminate some of them, someone will order 4 bundles. And I'm like, wow, what the hell am I thinking, you know? So we went live about a little bit over a year ago, where we were on the internet and selling. We ship all around the world. We just shipped to Portugal for the very first time. We have
Nice.
Wow, congratulations.
I love doing that because I have a map with those pins.
Just pin this.
We have dealers around the world, St. Martin, Bermuda, UK, Asia. We 1,000 dealers selling Kikimomo cigars. And when I first came out and went online and on, yeah, that was what I said. You're down, which is a good start. Not as good as I want. Slow and steady. And guys, you just compliment my cigar. I get compliments all the time, and it's for a variety of reasons. When I first started, I thought, oh, you grow tobacco, how hard could this be? But I first I got Cuban seeds, and then I went to 3 places: Honduras, Dominican Republic, and Nicaragua. And the reason I bought the farm in Nicaragua was because it's between 2 very large manufacturers, and
So now let me stop you for a second. Let me stop you for 1 second, Keith. So you said you bought a farm in Nicaragua, right? Okay. So now I remember, I don't know, maybe 2 summers ago, me and Joey were sitting outside, and you jumped on my live, and you were in a swimming pool smoking your cigars. I think that's the first time I've heard of them. And I said to you, man, those look so tasty. And you were sitting outside with your little nice, beautiful tan that you have, you know, and you're like, yeah, they are. Next thing I know, I get a little care package. And let me tell you, ever since I got that care package, man, listen, I've never had a bad cigar from you. And, and I'm glad that you're doing very well. And I'm glad you bought a farm. And we want to hear what made you, instead of going to somebody else on their farm, what made you want to buy the farm and do your own thing?
So it's all about control, right? And when you're at someone else's beck and call, it's never good. That's why it's very hard to have partners when you're in business.
Okay.
These guys that want to do my social, like, you got to do like you guys are doing, a podcast about cigar smoking, and got to tell people how to light a cigar. When you Google, 19 million have Googled how to light a cigar. It's sort of surprising that there are that many that need to know a technique to light a cigar. But
you said 19 million?
19 million people have Googled how to light a cigar.
Oh,
1 million people.
Geez.
Wow.
Wow.
That's what I say. Wow.
Wow.
So like, I could talk about this cigar, I don't know, 5 minutes top, how great it is, what we did, talk for an hour about a cigar. I can't. I could tell you what it smells like, how it burns, the smell I'm getting, the aromas I'm getting, the cost of it. I can tell you all that stuff. So my guy's like, well, you got to talk about it. So you can't talk about politics anymore because we're a fucked up world. And it's not just our country, the whole world. And I'm a conservative type of guy. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I am a conservative guy. I've traveled all over the world, and people around the world are good. It's our governments that are throwing shit up right now for everybody, and it really bothers. But the best thing I ever heard was Michael Jordan, and they said, "Well, why don't you ever talk about politics?" It's the best answer I ever heard. He's a billionaire, right? He says, "The last time I looked, both Republicans and Democrats buy my sneakers." What a smart thing to say, right?
Well, that's like I'm sure Republicans and Democrats buy your cigars.
Exactly. So it's hard to talk about politics. So what can I talk? I know a lot about cars. I know a lot about businesses. I have a gift for that stuff. I could walk into a business and tell you if you're making money or if you're losing money, what it'll take to turn it around within minutes. Like I'm wired that way. And the cigar business is supposed to be my semi-retirement job, and it's crazy. It really is. I feel really blessed. I just got an
it became your full-time job.
I just got an unbelievable endorsement 2 days ago from the porn star show in Detroit.
Oh.
Hardcore
Hardcore porn.
The guy got on, and he reached out to me a month ago. I never sent him a cigar. He reached out to me, and he's like, "This is Let's Go." I thought it was one of my friends screwing around. Like, yeah, sure, Let's Go is texting me, right? And he goes, "Your cigars are really excellent." I'm like, "Thank you." You know, like I said to you, thank you. And he's like, "No," he goes, "They're really excellent." He goes, "I want to do a video." I'm like, "That would be great." He got on yesterday's video. He's done about 2 or 3 already, and I do not pay him, which it sounds like I'm paying him the way he's speaking.
So,
but he spoke about, he goes,
so who is that?
Whoa.
Les Gold?
Les.
Guy on TV. And
yeah, that's the owner. That's the owner of Hardcore Porn.
Well,
yeah.
they did an episode.
Yeah.
They did an episode where he got like an old 19 or 1850s like cigar humidor that he couldn't buy.
Yes.
And he said, if I buy it, he goes, because I'd store my cigars in it. He goes, because I'm a big cigar guy. He said, but I have nowhere to put it. He said, otherwise I'd buy it. And it was like it almost looked like an entertainment center, like humidor that wraps around like a TV and everything. And it was just fully locked in as a humidor. He goes, I would have bought it. He goes, because I'm a big cigar guy. He goes, but I have nowhere to put it.
And you know,
it wasn't the right price.
And his son and his daughter's like, Dad, you're always buying this stuff. And he goes, you forget, I own this business. I was doing this before you were around. This is my company. You work for me. So now let's get back to the gentleman here who's also an Army vet. So tell us what you do for the veterans, because I hear through the grapevine in the cigar world that you do a lot for vets. So let's go to that.
I'll give to vets every day of the week, guys. I think everyone should. I think it's a disgrace that we have active members of our armed services that are eligible for camps. I think that's absolutely for our country, and our people in America should be ashamed of that. So anytime for our armed force guys, I always send cigars, always send swag for nothing. Like, I'm just a big supporter of that, and I will be to the day I die. It's just who I am. You know, I believe in America. I believe in a lot of, but that's do it.
Well, I appreciate that, because my dad, my brother, my other brother, my cousin, my nephew, my uncle,
your other nephew too.
My other nephew, he's active now, and we appreciate that. OG appreciates that.
Friends, my best friend,
same
way.
So we appreciate that, and there are some cigar companies that do that, and OG will agree with me. And then there are some that, they're so big for the britches, they don't want to give nothing up.
Yeah, I'm. That's not. I don't care how big.
So Keith, I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. I got a question for you. You said you're a businessman, so I got a question for you. So like I can't even. I just started a business in May, There's struggles when you're an entrepreneur, a new entrepreneur. There's all the kind of struggles. What advice do you have for me as a new entrepreneur and other entrepreneurs that are thinking to start up any business, not just cigars or cigar accessories, just in general? What's your advice when failure jumps upon them? Like everybody's going to fail at some point in time in their endeavor. What's your advice to overcome that adversity and those experiences?
You really, you mind talking about the business that you just opened? What?
Yeah, just like you're a successful businessman. How did you become successful? What was that adversity? Like what advice do you have to get over those bumps in the road that you're going to face? As you, like I said, I started a business. Like there's always bumps in the road. How do you keep that drive to keep going? Like what advice do you have for those folks?
Someone, whether you're going to or break it. I think that's the person you are growing up. But to look for in businesses, the business is there an so for example, if you were going to tell me you're going to start getting into the contracting business today, I would say I would probably wait because what's happening, house prices are coming down, people find good and they're going through the roof. It that industry today, it could still be done and you could still make a profit, but you have to look at the area that you're doing it and what you're selling to that area. I had a call the other day. This guy was a deputy sheriff down here. He left early, took out his savings for his retirement, and he bought this equipment for grading soil for 150 grand. And now he's holding his PECA. He's holding his PECA because he's not getting work. And now, fuck that I. So you got to look like money with that machine, and in order now the people that already have that machine and have trucks, now you go and you have to undercut them in order to get just so you could pay off that machine. There's always a way to do things. Right. You just have to part and figure out advertising. I've done in all my business life. I've done every type of advertising, guys. Radio, TV, newspaper, mailings, banners over in the planes, billboards, everything you can ask, I've done with advertising. And the way when they come in to sell me advertising, I say, if it works, I'm gonna love you, and you're gonna be my best friend. And if it doesn't work, I'm gonna hate you, and I'll never do business with you. At a time frame,
you sound like me.
All I do is cover the cost of the product and the ad. That's all I'm looking to do. I'm not even looking to make a profit because this is the way I. Let's say I do a cigar ad and I sell 10 customers. 10 customers buy my 10 bundle surprise, whatever I'm doing, and I make no money. Covers the cost of the ad, cost of the product. So I'm making zero. The way I think, I have a possibility of those 10 people reordering and becoming good customers. So I don't know if when I do a shipment, I always write a handwritten note. Thank you. Always. There are days that I have 160 orders. I'm writing 160 messages, and it's not just thank you. I throw in a lot of my boxes. I'm doing it for a few reasons. Number one, I personally love getting free. I do. That's just who I am. When I enjoy it. But I sent out the swag, for example, an air freshener with my logo on it. Well, to be honest, it's a 2-tier free, and it makes your car smell good because it actually does smell good. It smells like cologne. But you're looking at when you get in the car, you're like, got me some Kikimomo cigars. So I'm always in front of you. So that's how I think about that.
Right.
Okay.
So now, I'm going to tell you right now, Keith, I'm smoking your Stars and Stripes, and not because you're here. And you know I've always been up front with you, even when you sent us the pack 2 years ago. This is an awesome cigar. So, on that note, we have a question for you. So, Joey still has a code for you. So we want to
which I have used and actually sent people to, because I've had people ask me about your stuff, and I said, listen, I've had his cigars. I can't tell you how many times over. I said, you're not, just like I've always told you, Keith. I said, you're never going to be disappointed with his stuff. So, you know, I'm like, so go get him. I said, even here, I said, I even have a code. I said, use that, get yourself a little bit of a discount. I said, order whatever you want. I said, and I always refer them like I did, you know, to your sampler packs that have a little bit of everything. I said, if you want to try a little bit of everything, always, I say, get 1 or 2 different samplers, and you can get different sizes, you know, different wrappers. I said, there's a Maduro, a Connecticut, a Habano, just exclusive sampler. I said, then you get, you know, the barber poles and the tri wraps and all this other stuff. I said, just go on and explore. I said, you might wind up with, you know, 30 cigars before you realize it.
So, Joey, how about we put that out there right now while Keith is out on here?
So actually, it's already in the comments on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, everywhere. If you go on his website and you use code THE1JOEYV, THAONE Joey V, you get yourself a discount. You know, and you're going to get great cigars for the pricing. I mean, you can't beat it at all. There's not really anything out there that compares.
The endorsement I had the other day said my SKU number 175 was as good as the Cohiba, the Hickey. I've had other people.
Really?
Blows me away when I hear stuff like that. I've gotten compared that I'm just as good as Patron, Gurkha.
Let me see if I can find the cat.
A lot of
well, that is a blessing that you are that high up as, and I say this with respect, as a boutique cigar company. And I say that because, you know, you're not Arturo Fuente, you're not Gurkha, you're not Cohiba, you're not shits. What the hell am I? I don't know. Whatever it is, you're just a boutique cigar company, and you know you started it with your retirement. This was supposed to be retirement for you. It's supposed to be fun, and it turned into a full-time job. You know, and I'm sure. And
but
you know,
he's smiling.
Yes,
so he's enjoying it.
So you know, and the thing is, the reason we're on so late today because my brother Keith plays tennis, and guess what? I'm not going to interfere with a guy playing tennis because I used to play golf until I injured my shoulder. So you know, he wanted to come on, so we got him on. So you know, Keith, I got to tell you, man, and I'm always going to tell you this: your cigars are so good. And you know, I tell people, you know, order them. I said, if you shoot in the email, Big Dog sent you, Boss Dog sent you, he'll know. I said, I'm not going to tell you he's going to give you a discount, but just tell him I sent you. And, you know, whatever he sends you, he sends you. I said, I don't know what he's going to send you. If he's going to send you a hat, air freshener. I said, listen, I got an air freshener hat. I said, when I first spoke to him, it was on a whim. We were sitting outside having a couple pops. And he jumped on my live, and we had a great conversation. And to this day, Keith, I will always promote your cigars because you do a lot for the industry. You do a lot for vets. And, you know, I hear a lot of good stuff. And, you know, somebody said to me, oh, as a matter of fact, I was on a live the other day with cigar vets out of Buffalo. And I told them about you. I said, reach out to Kikimomo. I said, I'm going to have him on tomorrow. I said, reach out to Kikimomo and just tell him I sent you and explain to them what you do, what they do. Because Sanj Patel also gives out, like this month he's doing a whole month of first responders and vets. They pay what he pays for them. So I said to them, reach out to Kikimomo. Explain to him what you do, what they do. They're a little cigar group out of Buffalo, and what they do is they send the cigars to everybody that's active duty all over the world that cannot make it home for the holidays. You know, and I said, reach out to him, tell him I sent you. I said, he's a great dude. And I said, listen, I said, he's not going to give you a hard time. Just explain to him, and, you know, he'll help you out. But like I said to you, you know, I'm smoking Stars and Stripes. And let me tell you, Keith, I didn't have this one before. I saved this just for today. This one is on the money. On the money.
Truly. Makes me happy to hear that stuff. It does.
You know, and we appreciate you coming on here, my brother. You know,
Thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate you.
You know, it was like, you know, we were sitting here the other day, and, you know, beyond our control, something happened, and I said, let me heat Keith up, and
the
you know,
time slot just happened
to fall. And I said, well, you know, Keith plays tennis at like 10.
And we did tell everybody that we were eventually going to have you on. We just had to line everything up, and
here he is.
Everything aligned, and here we go.
So, you know, so if you guys order, make sure you heard it from here. Tell them you heard it on Turnbuckles and Stogies. The one Joey V. THA Joey V for a discount. Tell them you heard it on Turnbuckles and Stogies. And I'm sure if you're a vet, first responder, Keith will take care of you. He always takes care of you, even if you're a regular customer. You know what I mean?
I will say I will be ordering again.
Keith, I will be ordering from you again, by the way.
Thank you.
I just have to figure out what I'm going to order.
You got so many cigars. I'm like, it's like, you know, I'm sitting here listening to you saying that you had all them cigars. It's like Hell's Kitchen.
I know, right?
When they go into Hell's Kitchen and they have the menu, it's like 40 pages. He goes, what the hell is this? How you going to order 40 pages of food?
On nightmares.
Some of the things that have happened that have caused problems. When I send out an order now, every single order gets a catalog. And this is why people were coming up to me and they're like, oh, I had it's the best cigar I ever had. Which is it? I go, fuck, fine. How do I remember? Right? So every single cellophane, we put a SKU number.
Right.
Yeah. So if everybody wants what I have, the one I have is SKU 108, which is the Maduro 6x60.
Let me see what mine is, Keith. Hold on.
I'm looking.
So look at that. I can't see.
Oh, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's faded. Oh, 137?
You got 137.
137.
The Stars and Stripes is very distinctive. You can probably find it.
Very good. Very honestly, like I said, I don't say it if I don't mean it. And this is a fantastic cigar. I enjoyed it very much, and I'll be ordering myself as well.
Holy moly!
I powerhouse mine.
Holy moly! Keep looking at it. See, powerhouse it. Look.
He's a
powerhouse. He's a powerhouse. I'm still smoking it. Look. So, Keith, we appreciate you coming on, my brother.
Thanks so much. And hopefully you'll have me on.
Go ahead, finish.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Well, finish what you were going to say. Finish what you were saying.
People is when they see this, they should mark it in the catalog, whether they like it, whether they don't. And I tell them to grade it, because when they go on to order, hey, they don't have to ask, what did they try? They could look at their catalog. Oh, this one I rated a 10. I know I love it. This one I rated a 7. I don't, and things like that. Just try to make it easier for them.
No, that's a good idea.
That's a great idea, Keith. I like that idea. And some of you boutique cigar owners should take some notes from my brother right there, because you know what? Listen, like Joey does, we have sandwich bags of labels all over the house, lighters, cutters, everything all over the house. We have sandwich bags, and I'm like, Joey, no, don't get rid of that. It has this special label. What label? I don't know. It's in there. So yeah, so Joey over here collects labels.
Because I'm going to eventually use it for something. I just have to figure out what.
So, Keith, we appreciate you coming on, my brother. Thank you. And make sure you order from my man Kikimomo.com. Tell him that Joey, the one Joey V sent you, get your
That
discount.
code at checkout.
Tell him you heard it on Turnbuckles and Stogies. Do it on a discount.
And he will be back, by the way.
We're
You
gonna
are
have
going
him
to come
back.
back. We're going to
And
have you
Keith-
back on.
Keith, if it's okay, I'd like to pick your brain sometime and chat with you another time as well. If that's okay and cool with you. Your schedule when you're free. All right, brother.
Anytime you want. Thank you, guys.
All right, my brother. My hat's off
Thanks,
to you,
guys.
my brother. Thank you for everything. We
Thanks.
appreciate
Have a
it.
great day. Enjoy your weekend. That was fantastic, dude. Now I love that guy.
I love
That's
Keith.
the first
Keith
time
is-
I've met him.
Keith is such a
man.
great guy, man.
I love that we got to get him back on again
Yes.
soon. Like I said, I'd love to pick his brain sometime, just in general, just about cigars, about whatever.
It's like I
Fascinating
said.
guy.
It's like I said, OG.
Oh,
We
look,
were-
there's our producer again.
Me
He's
and
popping up
Joey,
and on.
me and Joey were sitting outside one day. We were sitting outside one day, and Keith was in my comments, and I said to him, "Why don't you jump on?" So he jumps on, and he's in the pool like this. Like, let's say you're the end of the pool. He's in the pool like this. He's got his little tan on, and I'm like, "What are you smoking?" He goes, "Kikimomo." I said, "And what is that?" He goes, "It's my own cigars." I go, "Where do I find him?" He goes, "DM me your address."
He sent us 3
He
cigars.
sent us 3 cigars, and they were the best 3 cigars I smoked that summer.
Fantastic.
And
All right, guys.
I got brought on board as an ambassador, and here we are.
So did a few other
This was
ambassadors.
this
and
was
they
a great
ruined it.
show. Let's recap real quick for everybody.
But we
That's
still
still on.
got one more thing left to touch on. We still got to do the turning point of the week. If our
You and I gotta
producer could
finish
throw that
the
up in the
Mount Rushmore.
screen.
Oh,
And then we got to do their. We'll do the turning point, and then we'll hit on their Mount Rushmore,
and then we're out.
We'll be out for the day, guys.
So let's do the turning point. of the
Turning
week.
point. Hit it. To the man behind the curtain.
Good job, Cookie Soul. Suck it to me.
All right. What was the turning point?
Yeah,
of
I'm
the week?
gonna
What we
change.
got?
What do we got? What do we got?
Are you waiting for a question or to the turning point of the week? What was the turning point of the week for this week?
Turning point of the week. I have to go with my turning point of the week. It has to be. I got to go back to War Games, man. I am just.
Yeah, see,
I thought the end was fantastic. I thought they blew it up with Randy
I'm
Orton,
gonna
and
tell
then
you-
CM Punk on top of that. That's my turning point.
My turning point of the week would have to be Dynamite from Wednesday.
I did not catch that one day, but I was working, so I couldn't.
This Wednesday night.
I'm working again.
I think it's Wednesday. Yeah, because they didn't do it yesterday or Friday. Samoa Joe.
Well,
And
I don't
Matt
watch
Fonseca.
wrestling. I don't
Yeah,
watch
he's better
wrestling.
than you. You know it.
Oh yeah, I mean,
But there's
and,
3 different. I think StreamYard's having issues.
So AEW, you got Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision. It's Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. On Wednesday night, the Devil's Henchman came out and tried to beat up MJF. Joe came out, made the save. The Devil then popped on the screen after AEW lost video for about 30 seconds.
Oh
yeah.
Oh wow.
Big hit on the production people for that one.
Oh yeah.
I know
definitely
things
weren't happy
happened,
about
but
that.
I'm sure they wasn't happy because the Devil came on the screen as soon as they got back, but it was already over.
And nobody knows who the Devil is still.
And he came on the screen, and there was 3 teleprompter prompts that were put up, and it said, "You think you're a hero, Max? Are you ready?" And it said, "Are you ready to face your fears and face the unknown in a tag team match?"
So who do you
Wednesday
think
on
it is?
Dynamite.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's two of the masked henchmen, devils, advocates, whatever you want to call them, versus MJF and Samoa Joe.
Oh wow.
I think that was the
I'm gonna
turning
have
point
to,
for
DVR that.
So who
Well,
do we
that's
think it
because
is?
they're going into
We know it's not
actually
CM Punk.
December. What is it? December 30th or December 27th?
Well, December 30th is a Sunday.
So it's probably the 30th.
No, December 30th is a Saturday.
then it's got to be December 30th.
My birthday's on a Sunday. Bro.
Is World's End. And it's going to be Samoa Joe versus MJF. So they're. I mean, would I like to see the Devil unmasked then? Yes. Do I think they're going to probably drag this out to Full Gear?
Probably.
Most likely. But then again, I don't know. I mean, could Samoa Joe be the man that's controlling the Devil and everybody? It could be. You know, like a higher power, so to say.
But now, let's do our Mount Rushmore, as per Coop.
All right, let's finish it off. Who do you got?
My Mount Rushmore is the Boogie Woogie Man, Johnny Valiant.
Jimmy Valiant.
Okay.
Okay. Then we have the Wild Samoans. Okay.
Okay.
Then we're going to have, obviously, my brother Jimmy Snooker.
Okay.
What I got? 2 more?
No,
One
technically you would have one more.
One more.
Because you usually put the Wild Samoans on the
Together
tag
as
team.
one. But that you can do that.
You could put them together as one because there was honestly a lot of different incarnations of the Wild Samoans.
Yeah, there was. And then we got
so you'd have 2 more technically.
Then we're gonna do can't forget my brother SD Jones.
All right.
I'll
That's
put him
pretty
up
nice.
there.
That's pretty good.
Put him up there. So what's that, 4?
That's it.
So that's it. That's my Mount
That's
Rushmore.
it. So I'm going to go backwards. My number 4. I'm going to start at 4. So my number 4, and you're gonna give me the eyebrow on this one. But my number 4 is Ric Flair.
Whoa!
That's my number 4. My number 3 is The Rock.
Oh, sugar.
My number 2 is Superstar Billy Graham.
Number 1 is probably.
And my number 1 is The Undertaker.
That's my brother.
That's my Mount Rushmore. There it is, folks. That's the end of our show. Listen, make sure you tune in next week. Turnbuckles and Stogies. Don't forget about our contest. Make sure you check out for more details for that. And thank you again to Keith.
Thanks, Keith. We appreciate it. Hats off.
Thank you to H and Turnbuckles. Let's ring that bell.
Ring that bell. Hit that shit.
Be good, everybody.
That's the show for today, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with an all-new show. And remember, you can listen to us again and again. The podcast of this radio show is available right after we go off the air tonight, anywhere that you can get your podcast episodes. And thanks for joining us